NEWSOM. We're here today to talk about an attempted kidnapping of a 1-year-old child this morning at approximately 8 a.m. in the 1900 block of Deer Run. A mother was walking to her car carrying her 1-year-old child when a vehicle that's been described as a red 2-door older model pickup truck with dark tinted windows pulled up in front of her house, and a suspect who's been described as a Hispanic female, heavy-set, approximately 40 years old, 5'5", last seen wearing a white top under a black jacket and blue jeans, approached her and demanded her baby. The mom refused, obviously. The suspect then brandished a knife. The mom turned away to shield her baby, and the suspect grabbed the mom and the baby, attempting to take the baby from her arms. After a brief struggle, the mother fell to the ground in order to shield the baby from the suspect, and the suspect then reached into the mother's vehicle, took some property from her, then fled the scene back in that same vehicle. Again, it happened about 8 a.m. this morning. We are asking that anyone who may have seen this encounter or has any information about it to give us a call so we can try to locate the suspect.
Can you tell us what she took, just in case maybe it's something people would know?
No, right now we can't. We're going to hang on to that.
Did the victim say she may have known the suspect?
The victim did not know the suspect.
Yeah, but this is a normal route. Like, did she normally walk in this area? Or, like, was it maybe, they've been seeing her for a while?
This was, in front of the lady's residence, and so she had never seen this person before.
How common is something like this?
This is very uncommon. I can't even think the last time we had the attempted abduction of any child, much less a 1-year-old.
The press release says the suspect was wearing a single black glove on their right hand.
That's correct. I forgot to mention that.
Maybe they were trying to cover up identifying features or shield fingerprints.
You can make suppositions about it, but I can't think of anything that it would be used for. It could also have been, some type of brace. Also, just not sure exactly what that was.
Was she alone?
She was at the time. Yes. Well, she was the passenger in the vehicle, so someone was driving the vehicle. I thought you were asking about the mother, and yes, she was alone.
Suspect.
Yeah, the suspect was the passenger in that red vehicle, so there was a driver, and the mother did not get a look at the driver of the vehicle.
I mean, obviously people who live in this area are going to be a bit concerned now.
Sure. Yeah, everyone, anytime something like this happens, we should all be concerned about it. We all know to be aware of our surroundings, to report anything suspicious that we may see. If you see something, don't ignore it. Always maintain your vigilance and report anything suspicious that you see to the police.
Have any other cities been dealing with anything like this?
I'm not aware of any that have.
Were there any injuries to the mom or child?
The mom received superficial injuries. The child, no injuries.
But she wasn't cut or anything. She didn't actually use the knife against her, too.
There's no injuries on her consistent with being cut with a knife.
Did she seem to think that the woman that tried to take the baby, did she look crazy, or?
She didn't indicate any of that.
Did she say anything about her having a heavy accent, or when she was speaking to her demanding for the child?
She didn't indicate any of that either.
What did the mother do after the assailants drove off?
She went in the house and called 911.
We'll take one more on this incident.
What was do you have an exact address?
It was in the 1900 block of Deer Run.
Okay.
Great. We'll transition to murders.
Okay. Now I'd like to talk about the murder-suicide that occurred last night at approximately 5 p.m. on December 6th at 202 Hartwood. A 911 call was received in which a male who was later identified as Roy Keenan, an 82-year-old male, reported that he had killed his wife and was going to kill himself. He indicated that he did so because of an illness that she had, the facts of which I won't talk about out of respect for her family. He also advised on the 911 call where the police could find their bodies inside the residence. And upon arrival, officers did in fact find Mr. Keenan deceased, as well as a white female who, according to Mr. Keenan, was his wife. This morning, autopsy was performed, and Mr. Keenan's death was ruled a suicide. and the death of the female is pending toxicology reports.
So do you guys need help identifying the woman, or?
Well, the fingerprints are taken by the medical examiner's office, and they haven't been ran yet as a procedural thing, so we're not releasing her name and identifying her until that's done.
Can I ask one more question about the first case? Was the baby a boy or girl?
I don't know, honestly.
Are you guys, actually, can I ask a question about that really quickly? I'm sorry, typing at the same time. Are you guys stepping up your surveillance in that area where the mother or the toddler situation?
Yeah, we're going to ask the patrol officer in that area to conduct directed patrols and keep an eye out for a vehicle matching that description.
Great. Thanks.
Were there any other incidences around that area involving that same vehicle?
None that we've located yet through records checks, but none that were reported also.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody need in Spanish?
Yeah, we probably should.